I'm glad, Bruce, you got the message to wear a black T-shirt today.
I did not, but I just thought I'll just wear one because that's
and black jeans. Look at us.
Kind of neutral, yeah.
Look, we got the rock and roll outfit on today.
Black and black. I've got my Iron Maiden somewhere, Brazilian Boda Brown socks on though, you know.
Always be selling, Bruce, right? Great to have
and
you.
Not for sale.
Well, really? Okay. You could probably fetch a good amount for that on eBay, though.
Yeah, but not after my feet have been in them. That would be weird. Yeah.
Great to have you back again. I think it's your 6th visit here.
Yeah.
Because you're always doing stuff. Our favorite polymath.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which I never knew the meaning of until you were called that. So I had to look it up and find out. But there's a lot to talk about. But I wanted to kind of start off with a couple records that came out in the 90s that you've been involved with. The first one, of course, is Balls to Picasso, and the kind of the upgrade of it, a remake in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
What was kind of the mindset behind that?
Well, it was never as, in hindsight, looking back at the record, after we did Skunkworks, and that one was pretty heavy. I mean, it was a little bit kind of like almost alternative at the time. Mm-hmm. Now it would be thoroughly mainstream,
right?
But at the time, everybody was like, "Oh my God, is it metal? Is it not metal?" But I mean, now it's like, "Oh, get over yourselves."
Yeah,
you know? I mean, the world has moved on.
Yeah.
And then Accident at Birth, Chemical Wedding. Look back at Balls and go, damn, some of those songs should have been much heavier than they were, because we struggled to really find the identity where to pitch that record, because in truth, none of us really knew, because we had great songs like Tears of the Dragon, but we had other stuff that was, almost bits of rapping on it and things like that. We're like, well, do we make it heavy? Do we not make it heavy? So there was a little bit of uncertainty, and because of that, it kind of just fell through the cracks. And our producer, Shea Baby, great guy, but he always tended towards making it a bit more middle of the road than a bit more extreme. So we got the chance to kind of restore it the way it should have been. And of course I was touring with the band, and I got Brendan, who mixed Mandrake and who's going to be producing the next record. And I said, what can we do with this? Let's not take anything away from it, but let's add things that should have been there in the first place. So there's more guitars and things like that. And I always wanted to orchestrate a couple of the tracks as well.
Horns.
Well, we had 3 tracks.
Shoot all the clowns, right?
Shoot all the clowns with the horns. I mean, that's just the full Aerosmith, But then with Tears of the Dragon, and also Change Your Heart as well, So all of those, I think, have just been, revisited. And, in some cases, the whole album just sounds reinvented. Cyclops is really crushingly heavy now. And it was always heavy to begin with, but now it's really like, wow, Gods of War with all the kind of the funny percussion and Brazilian instruments on at the beginning of it. And that is, of course, how we ended up with Antonio Tioli, who is the guy that did the orchestration. He did those initially, and then said, well, I orchestrate and I'm a conductor and everything. And I went, well, do you want to have a go at Tears of the Dragon? He said, could I? I went, yeah, have a go. It can do no harm. And so it worked out well, I think.
It's interesting to me, like when that album came out, it was 94. So I was like early 20s, like 23 years old or so. And it was kind of Bruce's first solo record after leaving Maiden. It kind of a little bit went over my young man's head. Listening back to it, it's like it's a great record. There's so many great songs in there that I think were maybe too mature for me at the time, waiting for it's going to be Power Slave Part 2 or whatever. It wasn't that by design. But a lot of those songs really held the test of time.
I fingers crossed. I think that I listen back to the albums that I did now, because we're remixing them for Atmos, and we may tweak one or two of them, not in the same way as Balls, because I don't think it's necessary. So we've redone Skunkworks. We haven't redone it. We've just improved it, but not changed it. It's better, but not because we've changed it. It's just we've upgraded the sounds and things like that. And what I love is the fact that we've done it with the collaboration of, Jack and Dino, who did a fabulous job on the initial production. And he's all over it. He's like, go on. And he was telling us stories and about the making of the record, and Brendan was going and digging into all the tracks. And we've just maybe changed emphasis on a few things. But that record is one that I think really needs to be, exposed, because everybody goes, Chemical Wedding, Accident Birth. That's it. And I'm like, they are really good. Chemical Wedding is a mega album. I think it was a kind of a watershed moment for me. And because when I rejoined Maiden, Tyranny of Souls kind of
that fell through the cracks.
Suffered as a result, because there was not really anywhere to promote it. There wasn't touring. There was everything else. But again, that's a very underappreciated record as a result. So there's a lot of stuff to dig through and rediscover for people. And I think that when people do dig through it, they'll go, oh my God, this, why didn't I listen to that at the time? And because there was nothing, I'm with BMG now, and they're really behind it, which makes a big difference.
Sure.
When you've got a whole big team, to move things forward, and we'll see where it goes. I'm just having fun making music. So the fact that I've got all this catalogue, which I'm really proud of, that's now sounding even better, is terrific.
It's interesting that you mentioned Skunkworks, because I was spending a lot of time in Japan at the time that came out in Japan, so it was a lot of bus rides listening to that. Back from the Edge, back to the Edge.
Back from the Edge.
Great tune. Like, once again, this was not what you were expecting from Bruce, but it's very melodic, very exciting material for
every album that I've ever done, every solo album I've ever done, has been markedly different from the one before. The only exceptions to that would be the last three. So Accident at Birth, Chemical Wedding, and Tyranny of Souls. And I'd say that Accident at Birth was a return to a more sort of like conventional metal, but song-based stuff. Chemical Wedding was just upgraded to a whole new universe of sound and of trying to turn metal into kind of almost like poetic art in terms of the lyrical approach to it. And Tyranny was a kind of hybrid between the two. It didn't have the kind of the poetic edge to it, because it didn't have the whole William Blake thing behind it.
Right.
But it still had enough moments in there, and it had a load of catchy tunes, which, frankly, one or two of them could have fitted on Balls to Picasso. Like Devil on a Hog could have been on Balls to Picasso, and things like that. So it was a little hybrid, a summation, if you like, of all the previous albums, a little bit with Tyranny. And I suppose it was because I was back in Maiden as well, that in my head I was like, well, I'm not sure what the future holds, because I couldn't see a particular place where I was going to be going and doing more solo records. Like, well, when the hell am I going to go and do that? Because I'm going to be doing Maiden, for the foreseeable. Quite happy with that. So it was 14 years then until
being
Mandrake Project.
When you came back to Maiden, you had all of this solo material, and did that journey, starting with Balls, going through to Chemical Wedding, did that, I don't know if mature is the right word, but did that help you embrace the idea of coming back to Maiden, that you had done the solo stuff and had done some different things and shown that you could do it on your own?
I think the thing about going back to Maiden was that I didn't want to go back and just sing a bunch of old songs. I wanted to go back and make a new Maiden album going forward that was going to set the tone for whatever we were going to be doing after that and everything. And the reason I felt so strongly about that was because I'd learnt so much by being out of Iron Maiden. I would never have been exposed to doing the stuff that I did on Chemical Wedding or on Balls to Picasso, or trying out, hey, why don't you go and just have a go at rapping, like, are you out of your mind? I'm a white English guy,
Right.
And it's like, yeah, but you have a mouth and you have a voice, and it's a different style of paintbrush, and so I got to thinking about music as being just, music is a series of tools to express emotion and paint pictures in sound and paint pictures in your head and your heart, and you try them, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but you have to have the courage to try it, and sometimes audiences don't understand, but to an extent, you should not be going around thinking, how do I please everybody when you're making music? If you're doing that, you're on the road to nowhere. You're not. You're a performing dog and pony act. Without wanting to sound highfalutin, you either want to be an artist or you want to be a jukebox. And if you want to be an artist, you have to take chances, and the chances are that people won't dig or understand what you do. And they might get it 20 years later, which is not what record labels want to hear, because they're like, we'd like them to get it like now.
Yeah.
But luckily, BMG are kind of cool about it, and funnily enough, Mandrake Project, which is radical departure from any of the albums I've ever done before, is one of their most best-selling records worldwide.
Yeah, amazing.
And still going strong. So the next record, which I'm doing in January, will be different again. And I just hope people get that the same way that they got Mandrake. I'm hoping that I'm developing a bunch of people that understand that when they get one of my records, don't expect the same old. And so, maybe my audience is limited because of that, because obviously a lot of people do like same old. Nothing wrong with that. But some artists end up with their audience enjoying the difference. I'm not comparing myself to David Bowie, in any way, shape or form. I'm not saying I'm as good as or any crap like that. But Bowie was a typical example of a guy
absolutely
who was an artist who could have made a living, dressing up, in his tights and his makeup and
Ziggy Stardust
and being Ziggy Stardust for the rest of his life. And no disrespect to Alice, but Alice has ploughed a furrow, which is he's been Alice for the whole of his life. But Bowie was like, no, Ziggy's done. Boom. Let's move on. And everybody's like, what?
Yeah.
You were my childhood. How dare you? And he reinvented himself as the Thin White Duke, and then did this, and then he did
Tin Machine.
Yes, Tin Machine. Yeah. And I totally got. I actually didn't like the record, but I got him
why he would
doing
do that.
It.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah.
And good effort. Thank God people are out there taking those chances. And I'm not sure I've necessarily achieved that level of greatness. I've certainly achieved that level of failure.
That's part of it. I think one of the reasons, Bruce, that Mandrake worked so well is, obviously the material is great, but then the tour. I saw you last year at the Observatory in Anaheim. Just a couple one-offs in the States. You just to finish the tour now. You're having so much fun. You have fun with Maiden too. You're obviously the attitude is infectious, but you can see how much fun you're having with this new band and these new songs.
It's a great band.
It really is.
A great band. We're all just vibing off each other.
Yeah.
The enthusiasm is 24/7 non-stop from them for playing. There's none of this like, oh my God. We do a sound check every day.
Yeah. That's rare. Yeah.
Every day we do a sound check. And sometimes we do a sound check and we'll have a little jam in the sound check as well. Just we're having fun, playing music, and we try things out and muck around and say, oh my God, oh my God, remote, quick, record that. That could be another tune, dude.
Yeah,
quick,
yeah,
boom.
yeah.
You know, so it's, you know, it's very real. You know, it's you know, nobody's faking it. You know?
Well, and also too, it's like I remember we spoke after the gig that I saw you at. You did Frankenstein, and you were playing the bongos, and you got the theremin and all that sort of stuff.
Well, the theremin, we have a little bit of fun with it, with some echoes and delays on Frankenstein. And then I said, you know, could we actually play this thing, like instead of making just noises on it? And of course, it's fiendishly difficult to play.
Oh yeah.
But we do Shadow of the Gods on this tour. We never did it in Europe. It's probably the most popular track on the record that's never been played live. We're playing it on the tour, on this US tour. So we were mucking around in a sound check, and I started on, on the theremin. So we added a little bit at the beginning of the song, like a prequel to it, with a little theremin melody going over it. And we do that every night, you know. And then we got these gigantic Japanese Kodo drums arrived, you know, huge things like size of beer barrels. So we said, well, why don't we Gods of War? Why don't we have those in Gods of War? So I'm bashing those in Gods of War at the beginning, and with delays and stuff, and having a little bit of a drum off with Dave. So all these things get added, but they're all based in. They've all got a musical basis to them, you know, because you know, with Maiden we've got Eddie and stuff like that, but we don't have anything like that with our show. Our show is all we have is music. You know, I thought, oh my God, is that enough? I was like, no, actually, that's actually what it is.
Right. Is that refreshing for you?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to worry about the fire and the wings.
Where's the monster? No, there is no monster. There's only in your head from the music.
Yeah. It was something that was I thought was really great. Was pulling out Flash of the Blade.
Oh, yeah.
Being a Maiden, I was like, you got to be kidding me, Flash of the Blade.
Yeah, well, that was my wife's idea, because I said, oh, maybe we should do one Maiden tune. We do Revelations, because we're going to go down to Brazil to this huge festival, the 40th anniversary, and that was where I cut my head open with that song.
With the guitar,
And the guitar, blah, blah, blah.
And that was in all the magazines. Bruce is bleeding.
Blood
and just
everywhere.
like, let's rock and roll.
Big thing.
Heavy metal.
Yeah, exactly. So I said, well, we'll learn that tune. And we learned the tune. And she said, yeah, but why don't you do Flash of the Blade? I went, oh, no, I mean, why Flash of the Blade? Da, da, da. She goes, no, do that. And Chris, our guitar, was like, you've got to do Flash of the Blade. It's amazing. I went, really? Oh, all right, go on then. And we did it one time, and the place went
nuts, of course.
Nuts.
How could you not know that, though?
I didn't know that. I mean, I don't know shit. You know what I mean? So I was like, wow, okay. Well, maybe we won't bother doing Revelations at all. Let's just do Flash of the Blade. So we've been doing it every night, and it's been going down great, because it's just a blast. It's really good fun. And then when we did South America, I did do Revelations, but I just did it without the band. I did a cappella. I did it a cappella, but I did two verses which were never in the song, which were originally going to be in the song.
Oh, wow.
And just did that, and then went, but that was that. And now this. You know. So it's fun.
And these are songs that you wrote, just you. It's Dickinson, Flash of the Blade, Dickinson.
Yeah, because why would I thought there's no way I'm going to go and do a Maiden song that wasn't written entirely by me, because it's my solo stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And we're not. The whole point about it is we're not a Maiden covers band.
Yeah.
But we drop in one tune in, one little Easter egg, which Maiden has never played ever, which is my tune, and which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So why the hell not? You know.
Do you let Steve know, or let the guys know you're going to be doing it, or you just let them
No, I just do it.
Yeah. It's your song.
It's and you know, there's this. The people think, oh my God, there's this like secret intrigue in the band going. I said, no, it's none of that bullshit.
Fun.
You know, it's fun. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was going out doing, you know, and now Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. No, get lost. You know, that's a huge Maiden track. I'm not going to do that.
Yes. So you're going to be doing another Mandrake. I'm calling it Mandrake. It's the Mandrake Project. That could be symbolic of your band as well. The Mandrake lineup.
I don't know whether the Mandrake band or they're the House Band of Hell or
That's
whatever
right,
they are.
yeah.
But we're doing it old school live in January.
So what do you mean by that?
Going into the studio and recording everything on the floor.
Everybody together.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not with, we're doing it, everybody on the floor with the intention of keeping it all. Not with, we're going to do it, everybody on the floor, and we're just going to keep the drums, and then we're going to re-record everything. No. The idea is we're going to keep it all, and only if it really stinks will we redo it. Because we're going to keep those...
That's old school Beatles, Stones
live
recordings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We've allowed ourselves 3 weeks to do the whole album.
Wow.
Not mixing it, but recording it.
Sure, recording, yeah.
Will we get it all done? I think we'll probably get 85%, 90% of it done. Because, we demoed the songs in April. We redid 9 of them with all the band playing live in August, just before we did rehearsals for this tour. So everybody's pretty switched on. They're a great band. You don't need to tell anybody twice.
Yeah. They're all pros, right? Yeah.
Really, really, really impressive. Musical chops, off the chart.
So you just finished up the tour. You got a big gig at the Wiltern here in LA on Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, because people might not know this. You guys finished the Run for Your Lives tour like on a Tuesday, on a Friday you're here rehearsing.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, no rest for the wicked any way, shape, or form. Obviously, you love being on the road. Obviously, you're in one of the biggest, if not the biggest, metal band in the world. Then you come off the road and go right into a very successful tour with the House Band from Hell.
Yeah.
I mean, you must just be enjoying all of aspects of this. Big rooms, little rooms, this band, that band.
Yeah. Yeah, and the great thing is we had a crew party last night, and the last crew party we had was on the European tour, and it was in Istanbul, and we rented a boat, and went out, and they had dinner on the boat, and it was bring your own booze. So we just raided the duty free, and it was like tequila and everything, and blah blah blah. And it was a proper rock and roll party.
That's great.
I mean, we were literally clinging onto the boat, and we were doing fake Titanic songs on the prow. My son was holding onto my legs to make sure I didn't fall into the Bosphorus, and it was a little bit of it was very old school.
Right.
And then last night we had a totally different experience. It was great. Drum tech Sean, best buddies with Dave, our drummer. Fire pit, barbecue. He's got a Van Halen half pipe in his backyard. So not that I skateboard, don't worry. But Griff, my son, who's a stage manager.
Wow, okay.
So we have the Maiden crew out with us. So Pooch on sound, Tater on monitors.
Oh, wow.
Colin at the guitar tech, Rob Coleman doing the lights.
Great.
Griff, my son, does the video wall and keyboard tech, stage manager. Kerry is his partner. She does all the backstage stuff.
That's great.
So it's a real. I mean, the crew is amazing, and we had a great party. Dave's mum came, and Chris's mum came, and and they're like, "Wow, this is great!" And it was not like the riotous party on the boat,
right?
But there was some great barbecue. I tell you. I mean,
is it fun to play with younger people that are not that anybody in Maiden?
I don't get the choice. But nobody's older than me.
But this is all exciting and new for them in a different way, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm gonna, single out, Chris, because he.
Is your guitar player?
Yeah, Chris, one of our guitar players.
Yeah.
Philip's amazing. A total pro, a brilliant songwriter, producer, everything, in his own right. And Chris is just an amazing guitar player. He's actually an ex-hockey goalie.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. I was like, what? Because he was saying, oh, my knees are a bit screwed. I went, you're not old enough to have screwed up knees.
Yeah.
What screwed your knees up? He goes, ice hockey. I went, duh, eh? So the hockey goalie, right? So, but he's really grown so much. He's a great guitar player. And he's super tall, left-handed, strikingly good-looking, the bastard.
Switzerland, right? Is he Swiss?
He's Swiss, yeah, but he lives over here.
Yeah, he's good-looking.
And so he's just grown into this thing of being a guitar hero. And he kind of kept asking me permission. Like, Dad, like, hey, Dad, is it okay if I stand there? Am I in your way? I went, Chris, you are the guitar hero. You are playing the guitar solo. So if I'm in your way, just shove me out the way and play the damn solo, And he's like, okay, I don't want to. No. You're go be a guitar hero. Go on. It's what you want to be.
Right.
Do it. And he's really stepped up to the plate. I mean, it's fantastic. It's great. I mean, and the whole band, we're just grown together as individuals, because what I love is that everybody has their own identity. I mean, Philip's like the scary Viking, big beard, like that, And we got Chris, the guitar hero. We got, Tanya with the dreads.
She looks amazing,
the vegan bass player. And
Mysterioso.
Mysterious, who's like a cross between Alice Cooper and Paganini. Playing one of three guitars and everything else. I mean, we did. It turned out one of the gigs, actually, in Pittsburgh. So the night before I, ended up singing the national anthem to the Steelers game. It turned out it was Vivaldi's 300th birthday. So I said, "All right, Vivaldi's 300th birthday. Off you go." And so we had like the Four Seasons. I just went off on one, And I'm just like, you can actually play that damn thing, can't you? I mean, he's a concert pianist. I mean, it's crazy.
Amazing, yeah.
Crazy,
Let's talk about singing the national anthem. I know you're doing that in a few days here in LA as well.
Yeah, I don't want it to become a thing.
Well, it is now, though. Like, how did it become a thing?
I know, but, you don't want to be like, hi, he'll sing the national anthem, drop of a hat, we got a Walmart, opening up. When you sing the opening of Walmart, but no, the Steelers got in touch and said, hey, look, we got a Steelers game the day after your show in Pittsburgh, which the show in Pittsburgh was at the stage AE, which is part of the stadium.
Right.
And in fact, they own it. So I was like, yeah, wow, that's cool. Yeah, I have to learn the words and all that stuff. And, I went up there and did it, like, no pressure.
70,000 people looking at the Brit try and sing our song.
Trying to sing the anthem, and it is a tricky one, actually.
It's a hard song to sing.
Yeah, and the thing that caught me out, the first two lines caught me out because I could do it in the dressing room, like, boom, no problem. I could do it in a theatre, no problem. I went to the arena and just went, oh, say, and then this voice went, oh, a second and a half
stadium,
later. I mean, whoa! And you're thinking on your feet as the ground opens up and starts to swallow you. and you're going, and it's like this moment. So I ended up like bouncing up the second line into like the wrong key, and I'm like, oh no, wheels are falling off the bus here.
Yes.
And so I pulled it back, and I got my act together by the Rockets' Red Glare. So as soon as I got to there, I'm like, okay, ignore the noise of the 70,000 people and yourself.
Yeah.
You have to completely
close,
because I didn't have in-ear monitors or any. There was nothing.
Really?
I had nothing. Just a microphone. Just give me the mic. Take your hat off. Sing. Now. Nothing to pitch to.
Wow.
Nothing.
That's unbelievable.
So. No, I mean, it's doable. But,
sure, but if you don't know.
But I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
But then we and it actually finished okay. The finish was good. And we did manage to time it so that the fly past came over exactly on the home of the like they're coming across,
I mean, that's a pretty big honor. I put myself in the opposite position if I had to sing the British national anthem at a football game in London or something.
I mean, people sort of go, it was good because people, in general, apart from one or two pricks on, didn't try to politicize it,
Of course.
Because it's like, it's the national anthem.
Yeah.
It's the national anthem,
yeah.
right? It belongs to everybody. It's not your personal property. It doesn't belong to this side or that side or the other side or blah, blah, blah. It's the national anthem. So it's something that everybody can get behind. And it's been sung by a Brit. And so they asked me, and I do it, and I'm going to do it respectfully. You know, in actual fact, it's a great story. So when you read the lyrics, it's a great story. I mean, it's cinematic. It really is. I mean,
Sure
it's a scene.
is.
It's a scene from a movie with a flag.
Yeah.
And actually, when you sing it, until I actually read the lyrics and sang it with the tune, by the way, is British.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. The tune is a British tune. It's actually a British drinking song.
Really?
From a drink like a drinking society called the Anacreon Society, and they wrote the tune, and then it was glued together, and it didn't become the American national anthem until sometime in the 1930s.
Wow,
it was
okay.
adopted officially as the national anthem. So trivia moment there. So you read the lyrics, and I suddenly get the flag, because Americans love to wave a flag more than any other nation on earth, right? So we have the Brits, we have the Union flag. We always used to call it the Union Jack. Technically speaking, it's the Union Jack when it's flown off a ship.
Ah,
okay.
History with Bruce today, yeah.
But that's true. I mean, we used to call it the Union Jack.
So it's only the Union Jack if it's flying off of a
ship.
A ship, like a boat?
A ship, yeah, or a boat or a ship, or a naval ship.
Aircraft carrier, gotcha,
but,
okay.
But the Union flag is still technically correct. I think Union Jack sounds cooler, but there you go.
Okay.
But anyway, potato, let's call the whole thing off, right? We tend to not have, Union flags flying off every house in the street, you know. But Americans do, and they don't think anything of it. It's perfectly not natural. And when you sing the national anthem, American national anthem, you realize why. Because it's about a flag. The flag it represents everything. When our national anthem, it's about a king or a queen, So, and that's a subtle difference. Well, not a subtle difference, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
So you kind of, you get it when you sort of dig deep into that song, and you realize the significance of what the flag represents. It represents the struggle. It represents, the morning after. It's still there. We're still in the game, And so, it was an eye opener, Yeah, so, obviously I don't want to be doing like at the drop of a hat, he'll do the national anthem. But the Kings have asked me to go and sing the national anthem because I'm doing something else as well, like dropping the puck. And they are apparently skating out to Fear of the Dark. So how cool is that? I think that's how it started.
Yeah.
And then they said, you want to bang a drum as well? I went, okay, what's the banging the drum thing? I do bang a drum on stage. I can bang a drum. So they showed me the banging drum thing. So we've got drums that we bang. So we did it, for the bit of social for them. So they are going to skate out to Fear of the Dark. And I am going to sing the national anthem. And I was like, you know what? They did ask me, so I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to just do this every 5 minutes, because it just looks a bit.
I'm having a house party. Can you come over and sing the national anthem, Bruce?
Well, that's the different case, ply me with a drink. That's different,
Let's talk about your voice for a bit. I mean, it's never wavered. I mean, you still sound amazing with all of these high ranges. You've got a couple screams in your wheelhouse that you bust out when you need to for Number of the Beast or Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
Yeah. I keep them in the wheelhouse. I mean, I don't go doing every 5 minutes.
You use them when they're applicable.
Exactly.
Which is so great. Is it just natural for you? Is there any type of maintaining that you have to do?
The best maintaining you can do is, sing pretty regular.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's a muscle like anything else. Try not to damage it. I mean, it'll take a fair amount of abuse because you're abusing it when you're singing. Really, I mean, but if you're really reasonably nice to it, the key thing is to have the support from your diaphragm and
of course,
if you've got the wind from the bellows in your chest balanced and supporting everything, then you can make a lot of noise for a lot longer. and also just trying to avoid doing things to mess it up. You know, going to football matches the night before a show and screaming your head off. You know,
going to a club, drinking after the show,
not the thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a couple of beers after the show, but and that's basically it. I won't say exactly have to live like a monk, but I'm conscious of conserving my energy, you know.
Yeah, especially when you're singing some of these high melody lines that you have, even from your Mandrake stuff, "Rain on the Graves" and those types.
Oh
of
we do that.
High,
Yeah, that's high.
songs.
Yeah, no, it is. But it's good fun because the thing is, it's a resonant high. So when you're doing it right, you know, you're turning your body into like a tuning fork.
Right.
So it's quite buzzy actually. You get a real kind of buzz out of it, you know.
When you guys put together the set list for Run for Your Lives, the latest Maiden tour with a lot of older songs, was there any that are presented to you, you say maybe we should stay away from this one, or do you guys put the set list together?
No. The one that was like, you know, when they said, Ian, we're going to get to the end of the 2-hour set and then we're going to do Aces High. I went,
oh my gosh.
No, really? Are you kidding me? Oh God.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like at the end of the set.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
For people that don't know, that's one of the highest songs in the Maiden catalog. At the end of the set after 2 hours of singing.
I know.
You used to open with it on a couple tours ago.
I know. I used to open with it and some nights I'd struggle, and that was like 30 years ago, right? You know. And so, and we are doing it. And actually, at the beginning of the tour, you know, I was just like, oh my God, you know, and you got this incredible sinking feeling because I was just like, ooh, I don't know how I'm going to get my gills around this, you know. You know, by like about a third of the way through, I'd kind of figured it out, you know, and how to make it, you know, how to make it work, because we play them all in the original key.
Yeah, I know exactly.
You know,
all of them.
Yeah, everything. You know, I'd kind of, you know, figured out how to make it work, you know, without, you know, exploding.
We're talking about the Wiltern show that's coming up. I think it might be the last gig of the tour.
It is, yeah.
It seems like LA's kind of become a base for you, a home base for the Mandrake Project.
Yeah, I mean, I got a bunch of friends here, and the weather's nice, you know. And I do have some really close friends here.
Yeah.
So whenever I come out to go and do, you know, writing or anything, I tend to go. Let's just go stay for a month, and in between time, I just go see friends and hang out and everything. And my wife loves it here, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not, you know, like we have a really cool couple of friends who own like an Airbnb, and we're good friends with them now. So yeah, we rent it off them.
Okay.
But it's just a great relationship. So we go there, we're like, hey, we can always rent it from them. It's nearly always available, and so we kind of like book it a year in advance and go, we're going to come for this period or this period. Got my US visa. I mean, I'm not green card holder or anything else like that. And I, you know, I don't want to. I don't want to live in the US, not because it's a bad place, but because I live in the UK. I live in Europe. You know what I mean? So, you know.
You've done quite a few things, a man of the people, shall we say, including being at the box office of the Whiskey last year and selling tickets for your own gig.
Yeah, that was a blast.
I mean, that's amazing. What a great idea.
Yeah. It was good fun, actually. Yeah.
Did people know?
What? No, they were just queuing up, and I was like,
that guy looks exactly like Bruce. Let's talk about the signings that you're doing. The son of Monsterpalooza.
Yeah.
The Comic Cons, the Horror Cons. That's something you've started to get into.
Yeah,
a bit more.
I did. My first one was in Cincinnati, so Horror Hound. So I went there, and first one I've ever been to. So I was a little bit like, you know, I mean, so what these people they turn up and they pay for a photograph with me. I thought, this sounds a bit cheesy. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah.
And everything else. And honestly, it was amazing. People were so happy. And I just think, hang on, all these people are coming and doing this, and they're going away with a huge smile on their face.
Yeah.
Nobody's being like a dick.
Yep.
You know, everybody's happy. wow, what's wrong with this picture?
Yes.
Nothing. And so I was, after that, I was like, you know what? I'm a convert. This is great. I love these things. And I just need to take an empty suitcase because, you go down to the stalls and the booths and stick the stuff that's for sale. I'm like, oh my God, I want that. I want that. I want that.
Yeah.
I mean, we came back with, God knows what, we came back with bat jewelry and stuff and shirts and things like that. And I was like, I'm going to come back with all the furniture for my house. Displays. It's
but
incredible.
it's cool, though, like you said. Sometimes you think about it, like, wow, that's kind of feel weird charging someone, but people love the experience of getting a chance to say hi to Bruce, sign this picture. Now we can wait outside the hotel and hopefully you come out to the bus, but it's not. This is more organized and it's more personal, I find.
And honestly, I'm completely with you on that. I mean, you can just have like a disorganized thing where like a bunch of big people come in and muscle in and squash the little kids and go, yeah, me, I want this, and this, and me, and this, me first, and blah blah blah. No, this is like really cool, really organized. Everybody's respectful. Everybody gets it done. Everybody, whatever they want done, it gets done. And there's not like, yeah, you're too late, you missed it. Boom.
Yeah.
Because you're there for long enough.
Yeah.
That you do everybody.
Right.
So I think they're great, honestly.
I noticed that Nicko's going to be with you.
Yeah, that's going to be fantastic.
How's that? That'll be fun, right?
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, we've got to figure out when we're going to go out for. I don't know how late it finishes on Saturday, so maybe we'll go out for a bite to eat Friday night or something.
Yeah. Have you seen him recently?
No, because we've been on tour.
Right.
I mean, we've just been out. I mean, from May. Basically, I mean, I packed my bag at the beginning of May. In fact, in April I was over here in LA demoing songs for what is going to be the next album. So I was here for the whole of April, and then just had like a week, and then packed my bag and started rehearsals for the tour. And then I went home for like 5 days, and then boom, here we are.
Yeah.
So I now go home for a couple of weeks, and then I'm on my honeymoon, delayed by 2 years.
You got married 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
How was it playing with Maiden without Nicko?
I mean, obviously it was different.
Yeah.
Because Simon is not Nick.
Right.
He's not a copy of Nick. His emphasis in terms of the way he drums, the sound of his drums is different. He's a different type of drummer. But he does everything that a drummer should do, which is he keeps the time.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, you don't have the, Nick was like a human firework display every night in terms of his drumming.
Personality and his drumming.
Personality and everything else like that. Simon's not. He's low key. He's the not exactly the polar opposite to Nick, but he's different. He's more thoughtful. He's very analytical. I mean, he warms up for like 2 hours. I mean, and he's just putting things together and refining and tweaking things and stuff like that. So it's a different drummer, but the songs are the same, and everybody, he's happy. Everybody in the band is perfectly happy. So. But then they're not the same. You can't replace Nick with a clone.
Well, yeah, Simon's got a little bit of a Clive Burr type vibe to him.
His natural feel is that inclination. I mean, and I was shocked at how I was like, oh my God, I'm having like flashback here, looking over my shoulder, going
40 years ago.
Because he's got that. His natural feel is to be kind of like around the beat, like almost like a swing time thing, like an Ian Pace type feel,
right?
And it just nuance, but Clive was great. I loved playing with Clive,
Yeah, great player too. As we start to wind down, Bruce, you mentioned Mandrake. I keep saying the Mandrake Band, but the Mandrake Project, we're kind of wrapping up this tour. But the graphic novels that you did surrounding the Mandrake Project are in full swing.
Oh, yeah. No, so book 1, which is the first 4, is out now, and in fact we took 400 books out with us on this tour, and we actually sold 600. So we you know, I do a little special with the book. So I sign the book, and then I just put Mandrake Tour USA 2025 inside, and nobody else will get that unless you buy it at the show.
Yeah.
So boom, you know, we're well into episode 5, 6, 7 in production at the moment. The scripts are written, the art's happening. Episode 8, I'm about to start writing, so I'm probably like a year ahead at this point. And then it wraps up with all 12 episodes. So there'll be another. There's a good couple of years yet of Mandrake to go before we get to the big ending.
Will the new record be involved?
Oh yeah, yeah. In a similar way to the last one, some of the songs will make reference, but not all of them. You know, but there's a few other things that I'm cooking up. Which might be quite interesting as well, you know.
There always is.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing is, it's such a visual thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a comic, but so it lends itself to all kinds of different approaches in terms of other things you can do to enhance the music, or videos you can do, or even short films, you know.
I loved it too because once again, you know, thinking back to Moonchild and you hear the Mandrake scream.
Yeah.
And once again, I always learned a lot from Iron Maiden. You know, it was like getting a history lesson. I didn't know what a Mandrake was back then. You had to have an encyclopedia to look up Mandrake.
Not since Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Mandrake didn't have since Harry Potter.
But it was cool that you kind of used that whole concept. It was very interesting and intriguing and a very Bruce Dickinson thing to do.
It goes by, I nicked it from Deep Purple.
The Mandrake?
Mandrake root.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
The Mandrake root. You know, I've got a Mandrake root sitting in my brain. You know that, and I had to find out what a Mandrake root was back then. So
Yeah. I wanted to ask you something we've never discussed before, but I'm only going to ask today because it is the 30th anniversary of Iron Maiden's The X Factor, which was the first album that was done without you.
Yeah.
When you did come back to Maiden, you did some of those songs, more specifically "Sign of the Cross."
Oh yeah,
it's one of the all-time greatest Iron Maiden
tune.
songs.
I mean,
it is
great tune.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Did you pay any attention to The X Factor when it came out at the time?
Actually,
no interest in listening?
No, but I didn't have any interest in listening. I was just too busy doing my own stuff.
Thing. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, it was kind of peripheral awareness. But in a way, I was just like, you know, this is none of my business. You know, I'm not in the band anymore.
Right.
And I wish Blaze well. You know, because when he joined the band, I thought, wow, you know, that's, you know, because his voice is, again,
different.
His voice is very different to mine. I loved what he was doing in Wolfsbane.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
And I thought, well, this is, you know, I hope it works out the right way. And sadly, it didn't. But I love Blaze. I think he's a great character.
Hilarious guy.
There's not a malicious bone in his body. You know, he's a great guy.
But so when you came back to Maiden, was it Steve's idea for you to do Sign of the Cross? Was it something you were interested in?
I think he might. You know what? I actually can't remember. But when I heard it, you know, I was just like, well, I think I could. You know, I could put some blood on the walls with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, great job on that one.
Not all of the songs, to be honest with you. Not all of the songs that they did with Blaze, I think, would necessarily suit my voice. You know, because some of the songs they wrote for Blaze are not really in my range. Yeah, a little bit lower
register.
And whilst Blaze would sing a particular tune with a lot of power because it was in his range, you know, I would frankly struggle to make that tune sound as effective as Blaze, because it's a little bit below where all the horsepower kicks in with my voice. You know, just, you know.
When you do the new record, are you going back on a tour with the House Band from Hell this year, next year? Is it something?
Oh no, 26 we have fairly extensive Maiden plans.
Yeah.
You know, commencing obviously in Europe, that we've announced all these dates. So my plan is to do the record, finish the album next year. Give everybody, I mean, the comic book will still be going. There'll still be maybe some live tracks we can put out and keep the Mandrake thing just bubbling, and letting everybody know in 27 we're going to be going balls out with Mandrake, because we're already looking at festivals. My agent is anyway in Europe. We've already booked a headline tour for Europe in the winter of 27, and we'll be looking at South America and North America separately. Obviously, we've still got to look at the album, and then there's videos to record and stuff. So although 27 sounds a long way away,
it's really not.
Stuff is going to start coming up in the rearview mirror real soon.
Yeah. Last question for you. What's your two-part favorite song to sing with the Mandrake Project set?
Okay, it's going to be a tie-off between, I'm going to say Shadow of the Gods at the moment, and I'm just trying to think if there's another one that has the aura of greatness about it. Okay, I love singing The Alchemist and Book of Thel.
Book of Thel is so good. Yeah.
Book of Thel's a monster.
Oh, such a great tune.
Chemical Wedding's a monster as well. We sing that one too. But Shadow of the Gods just is literally a showstopper. Because we started with this weird little theremin intro, which freaks people out.
Yeah.
They're like, what is that thing? It's making that noise.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Huh? And then you start, and it goes all the way, and then we finish on the big note at the end, and then there's a bit of pause, and just people just clap. I mean, but it's like they've been listening the whole time, and they're like, wow. And the fact that you can deliver that moment for that extended period of time, and everybody gets it, that's just brilliant, rewarding,
And what's your favorite song to sing in the Run for Your Lives set?
Rhyme.
Oh, so good, yeah.
Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. I save up my horsepower for that one, and at the end of it, although I also love Seventh Son.
That's a great one too.
I love Seventh Son. That's great. That's a different end, slightly different end of my range. And you can do the full Phantom of the Opera. Well, not the Phantom of the Opera, our Phantom, but the full like big theatre baritone. Here they stand. Wrap your mouth around that. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Bruce, it's always great to have you, man. You're a great guest with so many exciting things going on. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, man.
All right, man.
Yeah, thank you.